Hey folks, welcome to Prairie Girl and Cowboy Homestead. I came out to the root cellar. Cowboy's been hauling some jars out for me that I canned this weekend. And that's over there, and I'll take you a little closer look in a minute. But this is what we've got going so far in our root cellar. We built this in July of 2019, last summer, and it took it a long time really to cool down, enough before we could put our fall produce in. But all in all, for the first year, it's doing great. This canning I did last summer. I still have a pantry in the house that has my older canning that we're using up. But we had potatoes, which they're disappearing. That was really full. I've used those up. I've used a lot of our little tiny potatoes. And we had some that the molds had really damaged. So this is what it looks like in our root cellar. It's a 12 by 16. It's got a 10-foot tunnel into here with 2 doors. This side we do not have shelves, but I just have a little table right here that I hold my extra eggs. And then I've got refrigerator pickles back here and some fermented tomatoes that I haven't even dug into yet. I do have an old cupboard back in this corner that's got extra water and my leftover garden seeds from last year. So that's what's in that cupboard. But we've got a big variety of home canned, and I'm trying not to touch this canning for this year. I'm trying to just build up my supply. We had, let's see, maybe it would be best if I go ahead and change this around and let you see from another angle. Hold on. So like I said, here's some of our last eggs. We did throw out all of our eggs that I had started collecting late last fall because I'm just not going to need them now. My chickens are laying pretty good. We are still eating on our refrigerator pickles. We just had some at noon with our meal. I have not opened this can or jar of fermented tomatoes yet, and that's not the date on there. That's just an old lid. But this is definitely something I'm going to work on next year again. It's just good to come out and have a crunchy, fresh refrigerator pickle in the middle of January. We still have a few pumpkins left. Those are mainly decoration. A few purple onions. Our potato patch corner is going down, but it's holding out pretty good. I'm trying to use up all of our littler potatoes as well as some that the moles had ate on, a few. So we had them sorted as we dug them up. And here I have store-bought carrots and celery, tomatoes out here, a few apples down there right now. The only thing that really did not keep for all you new folks that are just joining us is when we built this, it was really hot. Took the cement a long time to cool down, plus just the temperature in here. So when we did put our squashes and our pumpkins and our cabbage from the end of the year in here, it was still a little warm. So the cabbage looks really bad, but it's still got a good chunk on the inside, but we're definitely going to do that different next year. Our squashes did really well. I still have zucchinis right here, and I need to maybe bring us in one and start slicing that to cook. But I've got all my canning vinegars and kettles and whatnot up there, juicer. But this is our shelves that we're starting to fill. Just trying to get a good stock. Those are beets down in the other cupboard down, or this down here. I think I shut you off, so that's beets down there. Our onions from our garden, the smaller potatoes. These were just littler onions, like if I need onions towards spring. They're starting to sprout actually, and I could still come and take some of these sprouts and fry up. But you can see that some of our potatoes got ruined by the molds, but there's still enough potato there that it's a good bite. These are store-bought, but I like to have those on hand. And again, here's our fermented stuff. Some tomato juice that I just did in a juicer steamer, I should say. Our nuts, which are sealed on top with a food saver, so they keep really well out here. And I always buy the canned stuff when it's on sale. And we always keep evaporated milk on our shelf. And here's more squashes. And those are keeping really well, and we've been enjoying those. And of course, that's the hot apple pie moonshine. More squashes over here. 2 pumpkins left. And this is what we brought out. This is what I canned this weekend. I've got jars of northern beans canned. And I have jars of ham. I have jars of ham and bean soup mixture. So it's just ready to open up and warm up for a meal. Really good. And this is ham stock. So I've got some good meat and beans going on here. And this whole area is actually going to be set up for my meats, our beans, our soups. And so I've got a lot to fill here and work on. But for our first few months of our root cellar, I think it's coming along really well. And yes, it'll be a job filling it, but it'll be oh so worth it. But I know there's so many new ones on here now that I thought maybe you'd like to take a peek at what's going on our homestead. And I think it's very important to grow your own food as much as you can, or buy it from a produce truck and can it yourself. And that's what I've done with the fruit. I do not grow all that fruit. We do have apple trees and plum trees put in as of last spring, but it's going to be a long time before we get that. Down here in these 2 baskets, I have apples individually wrapped. And they're keeping for the most part. They, like I said, when we put those in here last fall, it was pretty hot in here. So I need to go through those actually and see what I need to do with maybe can some more applesauce or something. But this is our root cellar. 12 by 13 with a 10-foot tunnel with 2 doors going through. And this is what it looks like. That's the outside door, and then we have a door right here. And that's a 10-foot tunnel. And it's all cement. And the roof has a heavy tin with 8 inches of cement on top of that, cement walls. And I just thought you might like to take a peek. So, and I know it is a pricey project to get done, but I think it's well worth it. I'm not liking all the recalls on the food. We've also got a shelter now. Even in Montana, we get severe weather anymore, and you never know when we're going to get a funnel cloud or something. And so we can just, maybe grab a blanket, come out here and sit in our chair and just kind of ride it out and make sure everything's okay. You just never know. But for all in all, for storing our food, keeping it cool, and it stays pretty much 39 degrees in here. And I'm loving that. Everything is nice and cold. Just a variety. Well, I stepped into the coop to grab the eggs for the day and gather them, and we have had so many eggs again that hens have really picked up. They don't know it's winter around here. They have just really kicked in. We're getting 10 to 12 to 15 a day. So that's really good for Montana, for this bunch of girls. They've had a really good winter. So I'm just going to gather eggs. We did go to the root cellar to take out our canned ham and broth that we had done over the weekend, and we took that to the root cellar and decided then and there, go ahead and just get rid of the eggs that I had stored in there, because last fall I started gathering and saving my eggs just so that I knew I would have extra eggs for the winter. And especially to get through Christmas holiday baking time, I wanted to make sure I had lots of eggs and eggs for the kids when they came to visit. And so now I don't need those eggs because we're getting a lot of fresh eggs now every day. And so we did get rid of those. We're starting to fill our shelves with our ham, our broths, our soups. And hopefully now next will be butcher some of these roosters that we've been talking about, as well as, tear into our little bull and get him done. And maybe we won't get him done until Cowboy gets the room done in the shop where we can actually work on cutting him up. I'm not sure what his thoughts are on that yet, but we're on the move. For January so far, we've done pretty good for some accomplishments on the homestead. Cowboy's filled the wagon, or the horse trailer, with the wood for the stove, and I've been doing some canning. And I just want to say thank you to Buddy and Lippy over at Gemini Homestead. We went to the post office today and do some errands, and they've sent such an awesome package, and that was so much fun to open, and all those little gifts. We really got a kick out of it. I'm going to go in now and have some of your tea that you've sent especially. So blessings to you folks. That was very sweet of you, and what a treasure for both Cowboy and I. Cowboy was just thrilled with his cap and his gloves, buddy. So thank you again. You guys are awesome, and we look forward to more of you at Gemini Homestead. So loving this big homestead family, folks. It's more than I've ever had for family. It's been unspeakable. It's awesome. It's amazing, and it's God's hand in all of it. And we know that. We know that for sure now. I debated for a while, do I do videos? Do I do YouTube? Do I do my Facebook page? And I had so many good comments from all you folks that just really support us. And I don't have the words to say, but we thank you. I would never have dreamt for a couple of old ranchers to be a part of all you guys' everyday life too. And I'm glad that we can share a little bit with you. It's just what we do. It's just what we do. We live the simpler life here. We've always lived the simpler life, but we've worked on the ranch before we came down here to retire. We raised a lot of food for the country, put up a lot of hay to feed those cows and calves and calving. And so, in our retirement here down here, we are blessed. The good Lord is helping Cowboy and I really set up our homestead the way we want it for our older years in life. And we so are thankful for everything, and we're just thankful for the place He's given us to kick back and call home. And now for all of you good friends out there, it's amazing. There's so many good folks out there, and it gives you a little hope for the country that there are good folks out there. So if you're not on YouTube, I suggest get yourself hooked up on there. If you wouldn't mind, click subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. For a long time, I didn't have a clue what it was to subscribe. I thought maybe I had to pay, and that just wasn't in my budget or our budget. But when I found out I could subscribe to all those channels that I love to watch, it's been great. And I try to click and give them a thumbs up and subscribe to them and try to catch up on their videos. And it's just one big happy family. And there's so many of the gatherings and shenanigans down there. Shindigs, I should say, but shenanigans down south. That would be an awesome thing to be a part of, but I don't travel, Cowboy, and I just kind of stick around the homestead. So I'm going to live my life through you folks that do the lives when you go to those shindigs and gatherings. And I want you to give hugs to everybody from Cowboy and Prairie Girl, and take as many pictures for me as you can whenever there's one going on. So anyway, folks, just want to pop on and say we love y'all. We appreciate your support, your backup, and I do know that the good Lord has his hand in whatever's going on and whatever's going to happen. And we do pray for all the young men and women that are going right now to the Middle East. We're not sure what's all going to be happening. It's a little bit scary, but there again, God has his hand in it. But we pray for safety for everybody and that this all calms down. But we're doing what we can here on the homestead to be as self-sufficient as possible. And I think, you know, life is so uncertain right now, and it's a little bit risky, a little bit scary. And so that's why we like to stock up our pantry. We like to have everything possible on the homestead that helps us out, and we can be as self-sufficient as possible for any type of LCE, which Danny at Deep South Homestead, another good channel, talks about LCEs as life-changing events. And folks, that can happen to any of us. It can be loss of job, it can be your health, it can be hurricanes, it can be storms, it can be who knows what. So I suggest, you know, just keep working towards stocking up a little bit and thinking ahead of the days that maybe things won't be quite as easy as they are for us now. I hope it never happens. I prepare for the worst but hope for the best. Always have, always will. I think my folks, my grandparents taught me that, and I hope to pass that little thought down to our folks, our kids, and their kids. So it's just something that, you know, teach your kids some of those lost ways so that they're not lost in the dark. There's nothing saying that we're going to have the power all the time. Something could knock out our power, and a lot of folks are going to be lost without that. I know I love my internet right now, and I use it to my fullest for research and keeping up with everybody. And but there might be a day that it happens and that we don't have it for a while for some reason. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. We will be okay, because we've been working and striving for what if something happens. And you just never know. We're hopefully it's going to be okay. So they're all still laying. Cowboy and I went and got us a latte again today, and for the couple of us like that, a treat like that is sure special. And I told him, you know, in our retirement, when we go to town once in a while, that's one thing we're going to do is get, and we both like the toasted marshmallow right now, latte. I had one latte last summer, the whole year of 2019. So that's something I'm looking forward to, is a latte every once in a while. But for now, I'm going to go in the house. I'm going to put another log on the fire. Cowboy's working on his lumber list to get ready to build the 10 by 40 room in the shop. So he's at the table figuring that out. I'm going to go in, put another log on, get me a cup of hot water, and try one of those tea bags from Miss Lippy at Gemini Homestead. So, folks, just want to say hi. Hope you're having a great day. Cowboy and I are having a blast at just goofing off today. And we're going to probably sit down and chat and read our books and just enjoy something hot. So take care. God bless. Thanks for joining us here on the homestead. We really appreciate it, and hope that you share it with folks that you think will like what goes on here at the homestead. Hoping to get canning a little bit more here in the near future. I've got some jars to go get maybe tomorrow, so I have those on hand, and just get my plan together. But just want to say hi and take care. God bless. Bye-bye. It's looking like I need to get some more straw in our nests, but here's some of our eggs. I love the colored eggs, And I know they don't taste any different, but it just makes coming out to gather eggs so much fun. I love it. And they're doing such a great job right now of laying, but definitely need to get some more straw, especially in that nest. They've kicked it all out. We'll see if we can find a few more. Here's another one. I think they're in here because they do not like the wind. The wind today is howling pretty good, and we've had a lot of wind here in Montana. Not sure what's up. The temperatures stay in the 40s to 50, but a lot of wind. And I see an egg over there. But that looks like that's about it. If we get one more. Hey, girl. Oh, no, there's a bunch more there. So our egg production has really picked up. It's keeping us stocked in eggs right now. And that right there is not an egg. But I don't have a glove on right now or I'd throw it out. One more egg down here. What are you doing in that box, girl? Some of my hens are getting a little older, but some of them are only a couple years old, but I think she's getting to be one of my older girls. So that is a great basket of eggs to have on the homestead. Maybe I'll boil some up so we've got some hard-boiled eggs to put on a salad or just a snack in the evening maybe. There's our noisy ducks. I'm going to give my chickens a little bit of grain, give them a little bit of laying pellets, some scratch, and some sunflower seeds, just to make them happy for till I get out here again in the morning to do chores. So